think I'm live again. Okay. Is that better? Is it better now? I had a previous video, had to stop it because I was having some technical difficulties. And I have not gotten any large exclamation marks in front of my face in the last 19 seconds. So I went ahead and restarted my whole computer to hopefully resolve the issue. Let's hope. This is what happens. We'll be patient with it. Hello to whoever can pop on, whomever is on their lunch break or taking a walk. I hope your day is wonderful. I hope you are able to see things that you can feel gratitude about, and that you are able to come into your body and your heart and find some inner peace. Hopefully you're able to enjoy the cooler weather we're having here in the Austin Metro today. It was like 68 when I went on my run this morning, which just felt like a revelation, just an absolute revelation to be in 68-degree weather here. Let's see if anybody's on. Yes, okay. Maybe? Yes. Hey, Sarah and Sierra. And hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. So glad you guys are here today. So I was saying in my other video that I've been reflecting a lot this week about the fact that my whole adult life, the U.S. has been really, actually I think my whole life, the U.S. has been at war on some front or another. And I was right on the cusp of adulthood when September 11th, 2001 happened. I can recall vividly the day, where I was standing, what was happening, what my response was, and of course the terror and fear that it invoked. And then of course a lot of Christian nationalism and warmongering that were happening after that. And so we've been in Afghanistan ever since. And I understand that I don't understand everything about Afghanistan, and I understand that it's giving me the exclamation mark again. I don't know what to tell y'all. I hope it's okay. I don't know how to fix it. Lots of people, military families, veterans, have different experiences of Afghanistan, but I have been able to, at least this week, access some gratitude that at least the war that began before I was an adult is over, even though I know that has a lot of impacts that are far beyond just that simple statement or reality, which I have great compassion for, and I fully admit that I don't understand the whole picture, but I do feel some gratitude that at least one war is over. And as with everything that's happening right now, we're in Texas, right here, the abortion issue is an absolute deafening uproar right now, as in many ways I believe that it should be. Of course, COVID is rampaging still, and that's another uproar. And so around me, it feels like there's this cacophony of uproars everywhere I turn. If I go on social media just to look at recipes, which I want to do, I have like I follow all these vegan Instagrammers that I get recipe, and you can't not be bombarded by all the various troubles and pains and issues of the day that are far-reaching and deep. And here's the thing that I've been thinking about this week that I only learned in any kind of meaningful way recently, and that is that I get to choose how I respond to the world. And I get to choose what the features are of my internal landscape and my internal response. Hey, Tori. Hey, Mary. Got a few people here. By and large, my assessment of the world is that it does not want us to know that we have any choice in the matter of how we respond. It wants our attention at all times on the 24-hour news cycle and on every uproar. It creates its own gravity that wants to pull us in and suck us in, all of our attention and all of our focus into this thing. Can somebody give me some feedback on how the video quality is? I keep getting this big exclamation mark that says my frame rate is too low that I don't know how to fix, and I don't really know what it means. So can somebody just let me know if you can hear me and see me? I don't know. Hey, Clark. So my point is, I've been learning that I do have a choice. And I can choose where my intention goes. And I can choose where my focus goes. And I can choose to bear compassionate witness to the pain of the world. And that's not to say that sometimes, all these feelings that are being felt by everyone, they're really contagious, particularly the fear. The fear is really, really contagious. If I get into proximity, it's gonna want to hop onto me too. I think that's the nature of fear. I think it is sort of a viral emotion, right? Fear being a viral emotion is this idea that I'm kind of pondering lately. But I get to choose where I live. Where do I want to live emotionally? Where do I want my focus to be? And the reality, at least for me, is that if I allow myself to go into, rather than a compassionate awareness of the pain that's occurring, but to be sucked into it, embroiled in it, I can no longer be of help. So, wait, Tori says, the quality is good, but it cuts for a second. I'm sorry. Having to reload over and over. I think it's an issue with Facebook, and I'm supposed to have a really fast internet. I have a tech geek for a spouse, and this internet's supposed to be good. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I guess my message for today's spiritual space at the noon hour is that we have some freedom of choice. We have some free will to exert on our emotional landscape. We can set boundaries for where our attention goes. I can choose to read the news obsessively, compulsively all day long and get the dopamine highs and lows that involves. Or I can choose to set limits on that so that I can protect my internal peace. And that's the freedom that I have as a human being. I have control over that little thing. I don't have control over other people's pandemic response, and I don't have control over Afghanistan. And that doesn't mean, just because I'm refraining from absolutely jumping into every river of pain that crosses my field of consciousness, doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean that I don't have compassion, and it doesn't mean that I'm a person I'm not a person who's working to do the work of building heaven on earth or to make the world a better place, and that I'm not trying to contribute to society in some positive way. In fact, I think what it means is that I become more strong and more resilient for the good work that is mine to do. And I have more of an attention span for what is mine to do. So I'm choosing, and I think you guys can do this too, I'm choosing not to jump in every time a river of pain crosses my awareness. And that feels kind of mean, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel kind of mean? Like if you know that people are in pain, like let's say the people of Louisiana, who are, many of them are my family and dear friends, who are doing hurricane relief work and hurricane cleanup. It doesn't mean I don't care about them. It doesn't mean that I don't have compassion for them. And it doesn't mean that I'm not trying to help them in whatever ways that I can from afar. But it means that I'm stewarding my own energy, and I'm stewarding my own attention, and I'm stewarding my my work. Yeah, my energy that I have to do for work in the world. And we're learning over and over again, I think, in these last few years, that healed people heal people, and healthy people help other people to get healthy. And that when we do our own inner work, that is what reverberates out into the world to create more peace. And so like when we say, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me, I think this is where the rubber meets the road, y'all. I think that, like, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with my own stewardship of my own internal landscape, so that I can be of service to my siblings in the world who are in pain. And sometimes it's me who's in pain. Sometimes it's me too. And that's not to say that my anger's not going to bubble up sometimes, and it's not to say that fear isn't going to bubble up sometimes, and these things aren't going to well up, that I'm somehow an emotional Voltron or something. If you know me, you know I'm not an emotional Voltron. I'm not even capable of that. I'm not capable of that. I can't. So I have to do a lot of work to steward my own emotional landscape, to create an inner field that is peaceful, that is not turbulent. And that work matters too. And that work is the inner work is the work that fuels us so that we can be helpful and do service in this world. So, you are free. Oh, let me read some comments. Hang on. Yes, choosing not to engage with overwhelm, this is what Tori says, is also not choosing ignorance. It's not. And a lot of the talking heads want you to think that it is. Like, if you're not totally embroiled in whatever's going on, that you're just ignorant and you don't care and you're bad. I don't think it's true. And I think if you go out in nature says that to us more profoundly than any other part of this world, that there's peace to be had, there's peace to be found, even when all I see of 360 degrees of uproar and turmoil and fight and division and dualism and everything. And I choose, for better or worse, to protect my own peace whenever I can. Hang on, let me read another. Yes, it means being able, Ciara says, it means being able to withdraw our energy from important topics in order to redirect it into things that are more immediate or things that influence our own, like, families and circles more, right? Because we're not infinite. You are not limitless. You do not have more than 24 hours in your day, and you have to sleep. You're not, like, we could just fritter away all our time. Yeah, Clark says, flight attendants instruct you to put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else, which is really hard for us to learn, especially those of us who grew up in patriarchy that tells you you're only, especially if you're a woman, that tells you that your only purpose in the world is to serve other people. Then you hear that message of put your own oxygen mask on first, and it feels just wrong. You have to get used to that idea. So I'm inviting us today to get used to that idea of putting our own oxygen mask on first and caring for our own inner landscape so that later we have some energy to give to someone else. Yeah, triage spirituality. I like that. I like that a lot. Sorry if I missed anyone's comments, but blessings be upon you today, my friends, my siblings, my relations. Blessings be upon you as you make choices to protect your inner peace so that we can do kingdom, community of heaven kind of work in the world, and so that let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Yeah? Amen. All right, y'all. Be blessed.